Silence is a source of great strength. Lao Tzu, you felt the storm pass. The thunder of synchronicities softened. The sky of your mind cleared, and what once roared now whispers. After the rush of awakening, there is a stretch of quiet that can feel like emptiness. You look around and notice how ordinary the room is, how familiar the street outside remains, and how different you are inside that ordinary scene. The fireworks stopped, and now you hear your own breathing. That is not the end. That is the beginning. Many people spend years seeking an awakening and expect life to become a permanent spectacle of signs and surges. Your experience reveals a gentler truth. The awakening opens a door. The crossing is what changes you. When the intensity fades, you are not abandoned. You are being entrusted. The universe no longer needs to shout because you finally listen when it whispers. Here is the promise of this journey, distilled and simple. You will understand why the quiet arrived, why your body feels both lighter and tired, why some relationships loosen while a few rare ones grow deeper, why the neon of signs dims as your inner knowing brightens, and how ordinary days become the arena where sacred alignment is lived. You will learn exactly what to do with the calm, the fatigue, the disconnection, the sensitivity, and the return to normal. So your transformation becomes embodied in choices, not just remembered as a peak moment. If you stay, you will leave with a short daily practice and clear next steps you can start today. If this resonates already, comment present, tap like, and subscribe. And stay with me until the end for a simple 60-second practice you can try tonight. Your participation helps this message reach the ones who need it most, and your voice makes this circle real. You are not broken because life went quiet. You are becoming attuned. Lineages across time have described this hush after the bliza thin place where spirit integrates with flesh. What once felt like constant revelation begins to settle into steady awareness. What looked like a cosmic performance becomes a companionable presence. The lantern moves from the horizon to your hands. Fear wants the spectacle to return. Wisdom blesses the stillness. Fear wants the sign. Wisdom trusts the signal within. You are entering the craft of being, where devotion is less about chasing peaks and more about keeping promises in small rooms. You are not lost. You are leveling into a life that can carry what your soul received. The body often lags behind the spirit. You may feel bright in consciousness, yet strangely heavy in your limbs. One morning brings ease, the next brings fatigue. Appetite changes, sleep changes. Old aches briefly reappear like waves finishing an old rhythm on a calmer shore. There is nothing wrong with you for feeling both strong and tender. Integration is not linear. It is like tuning an instrument. A turn here, a listen there, a return to pitch. Sensitivity heightens as clutter falls away. Rooms read differently. Crowds feel louder. Some foods sit heavier. People who once matched your energy now feel far away, while new faces show up with calm eyes that meet yours at a deeper level. This is not exile. This is migration. You are moving from noise to music, from reflex to response, from drift to intent. You are learning to steward what you can sense without carrying what is not yours. And then there is the social silence. Conversations that once flowed now stutter. Old circles feel smaller. The distance aches. Let it be a kind teacher. Not everyone can travel every mile with you. Those who are meant to remain will rise to meet you where you now stand. Release the rest without making them wrong. The bond fulfilled its purpose. Gratitude closes what grief resists. Space opens where new alignment can arrive. Awareness begins with watching the quiet instead of fleeing it. When you wake, do not reach for a sign. Reach for a breath. Feel the air move in a steady arc. Notice the quality of the morning. Is it dense or spacious? Restless or clear? Make a sentence of truth without decoration. Today I feel steady, or today I feel tender, or today I feel raw. Naming what is true anchors the day in honesty, not performance. Carry a pocket phrase that matches your phase. When energy dips, say, integration takes time. When sensitivity spikes, say, I choose light boundaries. When loneliness pricks, say, I am making space for my true circle. These are not slogans. They are steering words. Simple language cuts through the fog and returns choice to your hands. Keep a brief record of patterns without turning it into a ledger of judgments. Note the moments when your inner calm held and the moments when an old reflex grabbed the wheel. One line each is enough. The goal is not to grade yourself. The goal is to map the landscape of your new life so you can navigate it with less friction tomorrow. When your body asks for rest, treat it as a sacred appointment, not a failure of will. Sit for 2 minutes with your eyes relaxed and your jaw released. Let the shoulders fall. Let the breath lengthen. Feel the seat support you. Sometimes the most spiritual act is to let gravity keep you. Your spirit is not in a hurry. Your fascia is catching up. Interpret the fading of signs as a graduation, not a demotion. Before, the universe used bright arrows because you were learning a new alphabet. Now the alphabet lives in you. You do not need repeating numbers to choose honesty. You do not need sudden chills to practice kindness. You make the choice because you are aligned, not because you are prompted. That is power you can trust. Purification in this phase is gentle and daily. Begin by choosing a single moment to release residue. When you wash your hands, imagine rinsing away the borrowed moods of the day. When you step outside, imagine exhaling what never belonged to you. When you return home, touch the door frame and give thanks for shelter. These tiny rituals rethread the sacred through the ordinary and keep your energy clear without drama. Offer forgiveness in small bites. Start with one scene where you still replay a line. Breathe in and say, I release the grip. Breathe out and say, I reclaim my peace. Repeat for 3 rounds, then stop. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is releasing the rope so your hands can heal. You honor the lesson while ending the tugavwo that keeps you bound to what has passed. Practice gratitude that is specific and embodied. Instead of I'm grateful for life, try I'm grateful for the way the sunlight warmed my left cheek at the crosswalk. Specificity trains the nervous system to recognize goodness without demanding a spectacle. You feed the roots instead of chasing flowers. The tree holds better in storms because its anchoring goes deeper every ordinary day. Set boundaries like lamplight, not like walls. Choose places and people that let your nervous system settle. Decline what consistently confuses your clarity. You are not avoiding life. You are arranging it. You are building a home where your expanded awareness can breathe. This is alignment in action. Values made visible in calendars, conversations, and choices. Prayer or stillness can be very small and still be true. 1 minute of focused breathing at midday can reset an entire afternoon. One sentence of humble requests, guide my next step, can open doors you cannot plan. One moment of quiet thank you at night can end a cycle of worry and start a cycle of rest. Renewal is not only at dawn. Renewal is whenever you remember. Some researchers suggest that attention works like a lens. What it rests on grows clearer. Many traditions say the same in different language. Where devotion goes, life organizes. When you choose steady noticing over frantic searching, you shift the lens. The ordinary becomes legible. Patterns that used to hide in chaos reveal themselves as rhythms you can ride. Others observe that cycles govern bodies and seasons. Your journey mirrors that intelligence. Peaks crest, then integrate. Energy rises, then roots. The point is not to argue theories. The point is to recognize harmony. You are part of a living cadence, not an isolated event. You are learning to move with it instead of bracing against it. From here, the path is simple, not easy. When you hear the old voice that says, "Nothing's happening," answer gently, "Everything is happening inside this choice." When you sense the pull toward performative spirituality, return to the breath you can actually feel. When you miss the signposts, remember you became the sign. When you honor the quiet honors you. When you choose rest, strength returns by itself. When you release what is not yours, your hands open to receive what always was. When you bless the ordinary brightens until it shines. The cosmos leans in as the heart leans out. The dialogue becomes natural again. Light meets dark in your daily rituals. Noise meets quiet in your morning breath. Drift meets intent in the way you frame your next conversation. You do not need to earn the right to be here. You are here, and that is the right. Your new purpose is not a title you must invent. Your new purpose is to embody what you learned when the door opened and the wind rushed through. The disappearance of spectacle is not the disappearance of wonder. Wonder matures into trust. Trust matures into presence. Presence matures into service. You will feel the urge to offer what you have found, not because you must save anyone, but because light finds its nature in giving. Your work, your relationships, your creative efforts become vessels for the frequency you now carry. When the world looks normal again, notice how normal is infused with new choices. You respond where you used to react. You listen where you used to argue. You rest where you used to grind. The street is the same. The walker has changed. The calendar is the same. The keeper has softened and strengthened at once. This is maturity without fanfare. Devotion without performance. Expect days when the tide pulls out and leaves the sand cool and bare. Use them. Walk the edge. Feel the texture of the shore. Expect days when the tide surges and you feel full of aimless energy. Use them to sweep, write, call, move. Alignment is less about controlling the ocean and more about learning where you stand as waters change. And about the people you love, release the pressure to be understood immediately. Some will require time to meet the new you without fearing what it says about their path. Stay kind without shrinking. Stay open without explaining yourself into exhaustion. Make room for new friendships that arrive already fluent in the language you now speak with your life. Let your sensitivity guide you toward cleaner inputs. Choose a piece of music that settles rather than scatters. Choose light that warms rather than glares. Choose a conversation that nourishes rather than consumes. These are not small choices. They are the architecture of the home within your chest. They are how you protect the flame without hiding it. The integration of body and spirit continues while you sleep. Honor small routines that support it. Dim the blue lights. Let the last words you hear be gentle. Place your phone outside the room if you can. Give the night the respect it deserves, and it will give you mornings that are less brittle and more available for grace. If you long for the earlier surges, bless them and let them pass. The seed cannot remain a spark forever. It germinates in the dark and emerges as a quiet, unstoppable green. That is you now. Less spectacle, more sap. Less thunder, more root. Less chase, more choosing. This is not less spiritual. This is spirituality that can carry groceries and keep promises. You will find that service appears in ordinary shapes, a kind reply that de-escalates a tense thread, a boundary that frees both sides from resentment, a piece of work finished with care because someone will depend on it tomorrow. The sacred is no longer a weekend event. It is the way you tie your shoes before you walk into the day you are shaping. If loneliness visits, greet it like weather. Do not name your identity after a passing cloud. Use the space to write a letter you will never send, to speak gratitude out loud to a room that keeps your secrets, to stretch the back that holds more than it admits. The ache is a doorway, not a diagnosis. Step through and you will meet yourself waiting with a towel and a smile. When Tao whispers that you have fallen backward, look at the evidence of your life. Notice the arguments you no longer pursue. Notice the rooms you leave earlier because your peace is expensive. Notice the apology you offered without defense. These are not small victories. They are the fruit of a seed you tended when the wind told you to stay still. If your body asks for different food or different pace, treat it as a conversation, not a command. Try a gentler rhythm. Try more water. Try the walk you have postponed. Read the signals like you learned to read the signs. The same intelligence that guided your spirit now tutors your cells. Give them time to learn the new song. Let purpose emerge instead of extracting it. Follow the tug towards service, creativity, or healing without turning it into a performance. The point is not to look aligned. The point is to live aligned. Integrity is doing the quiet right thing when there is no audience, and still feeling the satisfaction as if the whole sky up. Here is a simple micro practice for today. Sit where you are and place one hand on your chest, one hand on your lower belly. Inhale for 4 counts and feel both hands rise. Pause for 2 counts and feel the pause hold you. Exhale for 6 counts and let the shoulders fall. Whisper once, I live what I learned. Repeat this 3 times. Then stand and choose one small act that matches that sentence. Thank you for walking this road with me. I would love to know the one shift you noticed most clearly after the fireworks faded. Tell me in the comments. And then share this with someone who might be standing in the quiet right now. Subscribe if this served you. And when you are ready for the next step, watch the related video on embodying alignment in daily choices. So today's insight becomes tomorrow's rhythm.